Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. I am so excited to be here with you tonight. It was one of those days that just kind of everything is everywhere and nothing was working, and honestly just like a really not a great day. Not a great day. So I am using StreamYard, which is a live streaming service. I am in 3 different places right now. So if you see my eyes kind of glaze over and look all around, that is the purpose to why. Wherever you are watching this from, I want to say hi, welcome, thank you for being here. We are going to dive right in and get started. And so the title of this video tonight is, are you running your schedule, or is your schedule running you? And what I want to specifically talk about tonight is I'm really going to be doing this little micro workshop on how I have incredible work-life balance while I work a full-time job in education. I own 2 businesses, and I raise 2 kids and run a household full-time with, very little overall support. I, of course, have the support of my incredible nanny. I have the support of a cleaning person that comes once a month, but that's pretty much it. I don't have anybody that runs my day-to-day life. I take care of all of that for our family of 4. So my name is Brianna Silvio, and if we've never met before, it's so nice to meet you. I'm a wellness and a health coach. I have over 15 years experience in the sustainable fitness, body positive sector of the health industry, and I'm so glad that you're here. So I really hope that you stay the full 15 minutes, okay? Because I know, first of all, I know that you're busy, okay? I know that you are busy, and I know that I am not going to take up a bunch of your time, but I am going to try to keep this within 15, definitely under 20 minutes, because I've got stuff that I've got to get done too. But I really want you to stay the whole time, and because I know that you are going to be walking away with some sort of tangible tool that you can implement in your busy schedule, like literally right now. I would love to know if you are watching live or if you are watching the replay. So if you can comment the word live or replay in the comment section wherever that you may be watching this, that way I can kind of keep track and see if this is a good time and a good day to keep these live little mini micro workshops going. We always stream around 7:30 p.m. Central Time on Wednesdays, but I'm happy to change that if you're finding this helpful and if you want to stick to something maybe a little bit more routine, a different day, a different time. So I'm going to start with a question. How many of you are struggling managing all the moving pieces in your life? So think about your work calendars, think about your kid calendars, think about your family calendars, think about your side hustle calendars, all the different moving pieces that you have in your life. Are you struggling with all the plates that are currently in the air right now, or are you a complete pro at managing your time? Let me know in the comments below. Like, how are you feeling in the current state that you are in? When it comes to balance, when it comes to time management, when it comes to time blocking, when it comes to literally anything of that nature, what it really boils down to is 3 big pillars: time inventory, routine, and consistency. And I want to break through all 3 of those with you today. So let's first talk about a time inventory. Are you just being busy in your day-to-day, or are you actually being productive? There's this concept in time management, like the time management, time efficiency circles. Those of us coaches that focus on time effectiveness and time efficiency, and it's called Parkinson's Law. And Parkinson's Law states that a task is going to take what it takes because of the lack of parameters or boundaries around the task. For example, if I say I'm going to write an email for my business, right? I'm going to write an email to my email subscribers, and I don't give specific parameters or boundaries around that email is going to take what it takes. If I don't set up the boundaries from the beginning, there are no boundaries. And time is a gap filler. It's just going to take everything that it takes. So you have to be really honest and humble when you begin doing this work around productivity. And oftentimes it's super challenging because you learn quite a bit about yourself in the process. Probably you are also learning some stuff about yourself that you really don't probably want to know, because it's not It's not a really warming process. I found that when I started doing this work of really taking a time inventory, it was painful. I didn't want to be as reflective as I thought that I wanted to be. I wanted to stay in this land of confusion because it was easier for me to stay confused than face what I secretly knew, which is I had to experience the discomfort of learning a new skill. I had to be more comfortable with being uncomfortable. And discipline is not an easy emotion to feel. So after you really you make a decision, I am going to be more productive. I am procrastinating too much. I am behind on deliverables at work. I keep setting the same goal for myself every single month and I never hit it. In fact, I never even get close to it. This is how you know it's time for a time inventory. If you cannot move the needle forward in your goals, it's time for a time inventory. If you're staying stuck at the same place, it's time for a time inventory. And this is regardless of what outlet you're watching. If you're coming from a fitness lens, if you're coming from a health lens, if you're coming from an education lens, a teacher lens, if you're coming from a side hustle, business, entrepreneurial lens, if you're coming from a mom lens, it doesn't matter. This right here is cross-contaminating across all of my different niches and all the different things that I have, because time management, time is the only finite resource that we truly, truly, truly have. Nobody can touch time. The only thing that you can learn how to do is work with it instead of against it. So after you've broken down your time inventory and you get really hyper clear on what are the tasks that you are doing or the tasks that you are not doing that you know you need to be doing to hit the goal that you want to hit, once you've broken down all of that, the next step is to get very, very clear on the action steps that you need to move the needle forward in that goal, which means you need to be clear about your goals. Okay, so really, when we really break this down, one of the biggest key points is, what is my goal? And you might have many of them. In fact, let me write this in the center, okay, kind of like a web. You might have one for fitness. You might have one for your side hustle. You might have one for your education business. You might have one for your family. And then you might even have these little micro goals here that kind of stem off. How many goals you have actually doesn't matter, because it's not about the goal. It's about the process inside of this goal that we're going to be focusing on today. So out here, this is great. Goal set, all the things. But we're actually going to be focused in this area right here. What are the tangible steps that I need to make in order to be somebody that actually hits that goal instead of just talks about that goal? So we need to really think about our big rocks here. We need to focus deeply, because in order to see and feel the success that you desire, you're going to have to prioritize a little bit. So if your big overarching goal is to stop procrastinating your reports at work, you need to start building timely, specific, and measurable parameters around those deliverables. If your big overarching goal is to lose 50 pounds, you need specific, measurable, realistic actions that are going to support that overarching goal. If your big overarching goal is to make an additional 5 figures to your family financial systems in the fiscal year, you need specific, measurable boundaries built up around that. Are you catching what I'm throwing? Specific, measurable, realistic, timely. So creating a routine that is highly tunneled and funneled is very, very helpful here. Let me go ahead and provide another example. So after you decide, okay, this is the goal that I want to focus on, and I'm going to pick one because I think it's just easiest to do it this way, okay? Let's say that my big goal, I've been speaking a lot to teachers lately. So let me say that my big goal is I'm having a really, really, really hard time turning my lesson plans in on time. I'm always on the list. I'm always getting emails from my principal, from my administration saying, hey, you're behind, you're behind, you're behind, you're behind. Nobody wants to feel behind. It sucks. It's a really, really bad feeling, right? So if I have a goal of turning my lesson plans in on time, lesson plan on time, I'm actually going to even argue this a little bit. This is not specific enough. What does on time mean? Okay, so here's some coaching for you. Okay, on time. They're due Friday at 8 a.m. Okay, so lesson plans due on time Friday at 8 a.m. Okay, awesome. So now I have my goal. Great, wonderful, all the things. Now it's time to build a routine around that goal. So what does that look like? What does that sound like? What does that feel like? So right here, what we want to do is we want to start building, okay, what are the things that build up to this goal? If my goal is lesson planning, turning them in on time at Friday at 8 a.m., what do I have to do around that in order to hit that goal? The first thing that I have to do is I probably have to look at the curriculum. Okay, so one, look at the curriculum. And if you're just hopping on, make sure you hit live or replay in the comments, please, okay? I'm giving examples. It's a very specific education example, but this is, trust me when I say this is cross-curricular. You can apply this little micro workshop to anything. So please don't hop off thinking, oh, she's talking to teachers. No, I'm talking to everybody, just using an education example. So we have to look at the curriculum. Okay, so from looking at the curriculum, then my next step is going to probably be to build out a skeleton of my lesson plan. Maybe it's a PowerPoint slide, maybe it's a document, maybe it's a Google Doc, maybe it's my planner. I mean, who knows, right? This is yours. After I build out my skeleton, then the next piece is probably going to be, well, what do I want my students to actually know at the end of it, right? So an exemplar, or whatever the exit ticket is. What is the end goal? Okay, and let me just touch on fitness stuff just for a second so that I don't lose everybody. So let's say that your goal is not lesson planning on time, but let's say that your goal is that you want to run a 5K by the end of the year, so you have 6 weeks. So number one is going to be to pick a race and sign up for the race, pay for the race, commit to the race. The second thing is to build out your training plan. The third thing is probably going to be to work with a coach on how do I build up to that 5K or to get a program online. Now, the fourth thing is to start hitting those micro checks. So micro checks. So now we've got our priority bucket. We hit our goal, we're working backwards. Now we've got 4 priorities that we have to look at. So from those 4 priorities, let me move this back a little bit, then I build out my to-do list, okay? And you know that I love a good quadrant to-do list. So we're gonna go ahead and work with that quadrant to-do list. I know that these right here, this section is the most important section. This is my effectiveness section. If you've never seen me work through this before, please, 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 please make sure that you comment in the comments quadrant, and I will get you a free PDF that talks all about time management here and all about how to make a quadrant to-do list instead of a vertical to-do list. It's going to change your freaking life. Trust me, change your life. Comment quadrant. Okay, so now I have to build out these things, but you want to be super duper specific. So let's say Monday. This is Monday, okay? On Monday, I'm going to look at the curriculum. How long am I looking at it for? 15 minutes. Sounds good. I set a timer for 15 minutes. I set a timer for 15 minutes, look at my curriculum. Once that 15 minutes is up, boom, check. Second thing was to build out the skeleton. Is that something that I want to do on Monday, or is that something that I can do on Tuesday? Could I build my skeletons every single Tuesday? Build skeleton. How long is it going to take me? I think it might take me about 10, 15 minutes. Always go on the heavier side, 15 minutes. Set a timer. Once that timer goes off, ding, move it along. So you can kind of see you're building out your weekly to-do list. So we work 5 days a week in this country. We shouldn't. We should work 4 days a week. But hopefully before my lifetime is over, we see that happen, right? But essentially, I've got one of those quadrants Monday. I've got one Tuesday. I've got one Wednesday. I've got one Thursday. And then I've got one on Friday. And what I'm focusing on is my effectiveness quadrant is right here. So on Monday, if I'm going to look at curriculum for 15 minutes, I'm looking at curriculum for 15 minutes every single Monday. Every single Tuesday, it's going to be my PowerPoint day. I'm going to build out my skeleton. Skeleton. Oh my Lord. Whew. Today's been a day. Actually, this week has been a week. Skeleton. takes me about 15 minutes to build up my skeleton. So I'm being specific, measurable. Wednesday, maybe I want to do all of my do nows. So I'm going to write all 5 do nows. I predict that's going to take me about 10 minutes. Thursday, I'm going to really dig into the concept development, which is like the big chunk of our lessons. That's going to probably take me, about 45 minutes. And I'm probably not going to finish. So I'm going to roll that over to Friday as well. Concept development, 45 minutes. Now, you're going through this process every single day. And these aren't changing. Your deliverables in your life, your routine items, the habits that you create, these things are called habits for a reason. They stay consistent. They stay the same. Yes, there is nuance involved. Yes, you're going to change them here or there. You're going to pull them out and push them in and all the things. But overall, if you can get those big rocks, whatever your goal is, and you can start working backwards, if you can start getting those big rocks taken care of, you are going to save so much time that you are going to have time for fitness. You are going to have time for health. You are going to have time for nutrition. You are going to have time for doing what you actually want to do and not feeling like you're drowning or like you're suffocating, right? So the big takeaways from here is when you're working, when you're in a workflow, eliminate distractions. Put do not disturb on your phone, close out your email. People will stay alive for 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 45 minutes. It'll be okay. Eliminate all distractions. Every single time somebody interrupts you, every single time a kid needs you, every single time an adult needs you, every single time you open up your phone and default to social media, you are interrupting the flow state. The reason that you are being busy and not productive is because you are not in a state of flow. The reason that you are being busy and not productive and not moving the needle forward in your goals and your ambitions is most likely because you just don't have boundaries and parameters that protect that flow state. And that is the most important, most impactful thing that I can give you tonight. Avoid choosing confusion and overwhelm. Your brain does not like this. Your brain wants to take the easiest path possible, which at this point in our evolution is social media or binge watching Netflix or sitting up in the bed or doing something that is in excess, right? Avoid choosing confusion. Understand that it is mentally uncomfortable to do work this way, especially in the beginning. And know that this is for any personality type. I'm not just talking to the Enneagram 1s and 3s in the world right now, y'all. I am not just talking to the type A's. I am not just talking to the people with slight OCD like myself. This is for everybody. Everybody can do this work because it's not necessarily a to-do list. What it is it's developing this habit of I control my time. Time does not control me. So I have a full workshop on this exact topic on my website under the free resources sections called Build Your Boundaries. Just go to BriannaSilvio.com and go to the free resources tab. And what you're going to find is you are going to see, you're going to scroll through all my free resources. You're going to find that one that says Build Your Boundaries. If you felt like I just scratched at the surface of this for you tonight, absolutely go grab that free longer workshop. I think that one's a 60-minute workshop. This was just a micro workshop. This was just a blip in time. Am I right? Another thing that I'm hosting at the end of this, well, actually in like 1 week from today, 1 week, we're going to do a 3-day reset challenge. This is for my overworked, my overwhelmed mamas, teacher mamas, all the things. We're going to be doing 60-minute sessions Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. 20-minute workout, 20-minute nutrition seminar, and then a 20-minute mindset piece. And it's all going to be under 60 minutes. Replays are going to be available as long as you register, but you have to register. Go to BriannaSilvio.com to register. It's very easy to do, totally free. Happy to answer any questions that you might have. Throw them in the comments. I'm in like 18,000 places. I will do my best. If I don't get back to you, if I don't see your comment, please send me a DM or please send me an email, teenhealthyroots@gmail.com. I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you 1 week from today. Bye.